Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for stopping by. Today I wanted to add another project that was not planned, but I was just sitting here and I was like, what else can I add to the 2 packages of Happy Mail that I'm sending out? And I came up with this idea. I'm sure that I think I've seen these where you could buy frames that are already pre-made. But I was like, why don't I just make my own? I have the rectangular stacks. I also have the actual frames. These are also by My Favorite Things. These are scalloped frames. This is just regular rectangulars, and I feel like using the same method that I'm gonna use for this one, then the wonky stickers may work. I'm only going to do 1 frame for you guys, and then at the end of the video I'll go ahead and show you all the other ones I've created, because I kind of want to put on my Netflix and just kind of take my time making some of these frames. But of course I wanted to show you the first one. So like I said, I have the actual scallop frames, and it gives you frames like these, which are gorgeous, right? But I am going to use them, but for now, for I guess this video purpose, I am going to be using in case you don't have the actual frames, I'm going to be using the rectangular ones and creating my own frame, basically. So I am going to start off by getting a little bit of tape. I like to stick it like anywhere in my Big Shot, just so that it helps me hold my dies in place. So the ones I'm going to be using, I mean, you could use practically any size. Should we use the bigger one? Let me see if it'll fit my paper. Yes. So I am going to place this one down first, so it holds. And then I don't want to go with the second biggest, because it will cut my frame this big, and I want it a little bit wider. So I'm going to go with the third one, the third biggest, and I'm just going to make sure that I center it so that it's uneven. Does that look centered to you guys? I'm gonna have to stand up because I can't see sitting down. And I'm going to now hold on to that one, and I'm going to, where's my cover? Oh, here. I'm going to run it up. Every time I use my Big Shot, like the whole table shakes. And if we turn it over carefully, because I want to keep the same measurements for the next one, I could gently pull, gently, and now I have my frame. So for the next one, it's very important that you flip your paper over. And so I'm going to, you don't have to take this one if you don't want to. Let me just keep it there and then flip this one back over. Just make sure it's gonna cut through. But you know what? The stitches are gonna be on the other side. It's fine, it's fine. We're gonna make it work. The reason why I need you to flip the paper over is because if by any chance you didn't perfectly, like to the milliliter or centimeter, what am I trying to say? If by any chance you didn't exactly centered your dies, then this will give you, by flipping it over, it would match the back side perfectly. Trust me, I've made a few mistakes. So that's gonna be our frame. You see how it lines up? So now let me clear this off and save these just gonna tear it here and then save this as another scrap. I'm gonna do the same here, except I'm not being super careful. Let me peel the painter's tape and then save that for scraps. And then of course, look, now you have this beautiful stitched rectangular that you could use for later as a background to a picture or whatever your heart contents. Is that how you say it? Whatever your heart wants, basically. Okay, so I'm going to clean this up really quick and move that aside so it's out the way. Move my big shot out the way. Okay, and now we have our frames. Now, I have a big stack of ribbon here. It's a mess, okay? Don't judge me because I just have this ball of ribbon everywhere. And if you guys notice, these scraps are from the same collection. I'm still using the same scraps for the first Happy Mail package that's going to Susan. I was using the spring and ball paper pad from Michaels. So now what I want to do is I want to take whichever one you want. This is the back one. I could tell because the stitches, I don't know if you could see, but the stitches didn't really penetrate through the back because we had flipped our paper. So if you could see, the stitches are actually on this side, but it's okay. It doesn't bother me. It just makes it look like the stitches go together because the stitch will be on the frame at the front and the back is like so. So it's gonna work, trust me. So now, because these colors were very like soft spring, we are going to, I don't know if green on green is gonna look good. Plus these little puffy balls are like way too puffy for me. See? So let's, I know I had another ones. These would be perfect, but these are blue and that collection doesn't necessarily have any blue. But you see what we're creating here? Look at the ribbon and the paper. It's gonna look pretty beautiful. Pretty beautiful. Let's just go ahead and use this one, you guys, because I don't know if, I mean, I have the puffy ones, but the balls are way too big. I have some white one that we could do, but let's just stick with the pink. And for this purpose, or yeah, for this, let me make sure, I want to make sure that it's going correctly all the way across. But I am going to be using the fabric tack glue because I feel like it holds a lot better. I tried to use the Nubo glue earlier and it wasn't really working for me. So I'm going to flip it this way and I'm gonna do a thin, if my glue cooperates. I know I have another bottle somewhere. I'm going to do a thin, yeah, my glue's not cooperating. I'm almost at the end of this bottle, so that's why it's like hesitating to come out. Actually, let's try it on the paper. It might be easier if we just commit to doing it on paper. So for the first frame, you want to put your adhesive at the top. Okay, and then we're gonna flip it and try to dress by dress or align. For those of you that haven't picked up my my lingual, you can make it stick out as much or as little as you want. This glue allows you a little bit of freedom so that you are able to move it. So I'm just gently pulling it up because I want it to be seen a little bit more. Let me bring you guys in so you could see. There, I think that's good. Okay, for the corner, I kind of want to do this. Look, I'm gonna fold it in and then make it turn this way so I don't have to cut the ribbon. So it's right here. What I want to do is push in and then align it to however far I want it sticking out, and then going ahead and adhere it. The only thing is that if I do that, which I'm okay with it, the frame for you guys, not the frame, this corner or every corner will be a little bit, I don't want to say bulky because I don't want to scare you off from actually doing it. This is such a cute project. But it is going to be, because it's folded right here, so it is going to be like thicker than any other section on the frame. And so I'm going to just kind of hold it in place, give it a little bit of pressure so that it sticks. And once it does that, then I could come back and move on to the rest of the side. So just adding. Okay, so I'm gonna add that and then just kind of place my ribbon where I want to, and then quickly, well, not really quickly, but flip it over just so that you're happy with the alignment of the ribbon. If you think it is too small or too, just adjust it and move it. And then we're going to be doing the exact same thing. We're going to push inward the ribbon and put some ribbon. I really need to go get a new bottle of this because it is. So I'm going to pinch, push in, and then fold over and hold it right here for a few seconds. Apply a little bit of pressure. And while I hold it, I can go ahead and add. See, it's making, it's like staying in the bubble. And putting in my strip. And then while I'm still holding the corner, just kind of align it the best way I can through the back. And then I'm going to flip it over. That one came out actually pretty good. And then just kind of push this one because I'm making sure that the ribbon is almost on the same amount peeking through on all the sides so far. So now that I'm done in this corner, flipping it over, and same thing, you guys, put a little dot. I'm gonna push it out and then bring it back in so that it creates like a corner here. Although this one is giving me a hard time because I have glue all over my nails and my fingers. And then, okay, there, that's better. Okay, I'm just gonna hold it there for a minute, flip it over, and then hold it while I run another strip. Okay. Okay, come on, give me something to work with. And then for the last one, I am gonna go ahead and go over this ribbon corner right here. So I'm just going to align it best way I can, flip it over, and yeah, this one's sticking out way too much. So I'm gonna move it down, move it down. Well, not so much down. And now we have our frame. Let me go ahead and trim this corner. I'm gonna cut here, and I'm going to cut here. And then you guys know it wouldn't be my video if I didn't bring my lighter. Whenever I work with ribbon, I just like to burn the edges so that the ribbon does not fray on me as much. So I'm just gonna burn that. Wait for it to give it a minute to dry. Look how pretty that frame is. Right? I'm gonna flip it over, and now, whereas the beginning we were using the glue at the very top, for this part we're going to put the glue on the inside of the frame. And then before we do that, we want to make sure we line up everything perfectly so that there we can have a pretty frame all over. So we're going to start by putting glue on the inside. Let me make sure I put some. Here first. Maybe a little bit here. Okay. And then we're going to gently and carefully align the corners first. So that, let me make sure, kind of pinching the sides, the inside sides. That's a tongue twister. The inside frame, or the inside of the frame. So just kind of pushing my fingers around it, making sure they're aligned, dress right dress. You could use your bone folder, but you don't need to, honestly. You could just do it with your finger. Like so. Give it a moment to dry, and then we're gonna go back, and I don't know if I'm gonna seriously need to go grab another bottle, but you could just put drops on the corners. So one there, lifting, putting one there, and then lifting again, putting a drop there, and then lifting and putting one there. And this, you guys, completes our handmade frames. Something that could easily, I don't have the fancy notebook that I made for them because it's already in the box waiting to be sent, but you could easily look. Obviously this TN is too thin for this frame, but if you had like a scrapbook page, then you're making your own frames. And aren't they gorgeous with the ribbon? Doesn't that make a pretty paper just even more pretty because you took the time to add some ribbon to make it super gorgeous? So that is basically going to entail how you make the frames, you guys. I am going to go ahead and sit around here, like I said, turn on my Netflix, play around with all the kinds of ribbons that I have here, and just be creating some more. I did, you guys already saw the what was I gonna say, the frames that I made earlier using the scallop. This one, the actual scallop frames, these are what they look like. They're a little bit thinner, if you could see. I don't have a lot of movement, so I feel like I'm gonna have to work with a different glue, and I just hope it works. So I have this soft pink frame as well, and if you don't have any of these die sets, don't get discouraged because you're able to do this. It will take you a little bit longer of a time, of course, but you could actually cut out the frames with just paper, ruler, and a craft knife. So don't get discouraged if you don't have these. Like I said, super gorgeous, super pretty. and then let me get on to working on the other frames. I am going to try to use the same method of using these. You know how I use these together? I'm gonna try to see if it will work with the squares. And if it does, then I'll show you what frame I created with that. But other than that, we'll see you guys in a bit. Bye. I finished the tags. Let me show you what I did. So I did this one. I did another small one, as you can see. The frames are in the back. And then the square method did work, you guys. So I was able to do the wonky squares. And then in the back. So these three are going to the collection that had that, what was the name of that paper, you guys? Fancy something, right? The one that went with this notebook. Let me pull you guys out so you can see. The one that went with this notebook, that's where these picture frames are going to. And then for the one that's going to Rydell. And for the other one, this is the frames that I created. And I don't know if you can see the scallops there. It's a little bit better. And then these ones with the pink. And then I did one that's a little bit bigger. And like I said, these are going to Susan. And I used the Spring and Bow 12x12 paper pack from Michaels. And that is going to be added to her Happy Mail. And like I said, these right here are going to be added to Rydell, who, honestly, you guys, I don't remember the name of it. Oh, wait, I have it right here. It is called Fancy Floral, also from Michaels. And that is going to complete this video, you guys. So I hope that you enjoyed learning how to make these little simple and easy frames, picture frames, something that can easily just add like detail to your pages, and super cute. And most importantly, I wanted to get rid of some of this, which, as you can see, I still have quite a few projects ahead of me before I can get rid of that. So thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed these little frames that I made, and we will see you guys on the next video. Have a good one. Bye.